Hello, Moab. How are you?
Hello, Luke.
Hello. So we are here again for the B part of it, the tech talk with our guys, the case study. And today, Moab, what's the topic?
We have a case study from Sorint's internal blog, floatingpoint.sorint.it. We have a case study for a big insurance company in Italy, very well known to the Italian people, but we cannot mention the name for confidentiality and NDA agreements. So if we can invite on stage, it's two circles, Luigi Leoni from the head of Circle CI/CD Engineering, DevOps Engineering.
Hello.
We have Simone from Modern Application Infrastructure, and we have David also from the same circle, Modern Application Infrastructure. Ciao ragazzi.
Hello,
Okay.
So in English.
Hello.
So.
No, in English, just to greet them in Italian, our mother tongue language here. It's a big project. It's a very big project. So there was two big circles involved. Let's start from Luigi, head of CI/CD engineering, to tell us briefly what was the requirements of the client.
Okay, hi all. The customer requirements was to develop a continuous integration and delivery system as usual from the same. But on this particular client, we see after a few meetings that there is a lack of knowledge on this customer, and the customer also see that he didn't know what they want that we do. So I don't know if English is bad for me, but so we starting with first. We have two missions. One is develop the continuous integration and development system. The other is the skill refocus and spread the knowledge to the company, to this company, because the developer team, it's how the developer team works is not was not so good.
Legacy, it's the traditional way.
The same also from the operation on the operation teams that, for example, the developer teams pensava, I don't know how to
thinking
that the DevOps practices is equal to I can do anything, I can develop, I can deploy everything everywhere. And from the operation side, they thinking that the DevOps practice means that they can coaching and make a restriction on how the developer develop their code and so on. So on this in this situation that is not no good, that was not so good. We involved on the educational on the cultural education with the training with all the teams and starting from to make the customer involved also in our decision in how to project and realize the software development life cycle using also the modern infrastructure that Simone and Davide explained after.
Exactly. Let me stop you here, Luigi. So as you said, the client was looking for two things from the CI/CD engineering, creating the pipeline and the configuration of it, and teaching the client's team how to use it or what is this, because it seems there was no awareness whatsoever about this.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the real requirements of the customer. The customer after a few meetings he understand that there is a lack of knowledge, and so
sorry, Leon. This is the this idea, just to add something very, very important here, that is our role to lead the customer to better understand their requirement, because they are not truly and fully aware of the needs. But also, it's very typical for us to face the customer with some a sort of mainstream idea of the DevOps, so something very general, that is the freedom to do everything in production for everyone. So more or less it's the same. And our competition, the competitors of our services are typically responding in two ways. No? First of all, with something very theoric. So it's, yes, more or less the literature is DevOps is something that you can use or not use, and then go into something consultancy in some way. We are different because we are the skills, the requirement, and the experience. This is very different. So we can lead the customer and say exactly what they need to implement. And also the second approach of our the competition, the other player in the market, it's starting from the product. So because they are mostly 80% of their business, the revenue stream of the competition is coming from product. They start not with the solution, the process, how to orchestrate everything, but DevOps for us is this product or the other one. So they start with, again, not with the requirement of the customer, the best technology, the best implementation, the best solution, but they start with what they are selling. So this is, and for us, it's very typical to face the customer in this way, with some the other players telling a different truth to the customer. Sorry.
I think it's part of what we do, right? It's like we create this awareness or this knowledge to our client, what benefits you're gonna take from any technology, whatever, if it's not even CI/CD. Okay, so this is the part where circle CI/CD or department CI/CD DevOps engineering has to do. But before we start this, we need to create the infrastructure, to modernize the infrastructure, where your circle guys came in, David and Simone. Can we start from Simone and tell us briefly, what do you do? What did you do to change the legacy environment to a more traditional, to the more modern environment in terms of infrastructure? What do you do?
So we developed a playbook with Ansible, that is the standard for what is the Red Hat environment in the automation and for everything you have to use for building the infrastructure, so the servers infrastructure and the Kubernetes infrastructure that will hosted the CI/CD infrastructure that the Luigi Circons developed. Ansible is the most famous, the most strong, the most reliable, and what our circle know best to automate and suited best for what the customer needed to create. So a playbook that reacts on what he wanted to do. So if he wants to create, let me say, one infrastructure or two infrastructure, what the customer has to do is simple, write like a note, like
it's a YAML file. Just
yes, it's like a YAML file where you list all what you want,
all the tasks.
Yes.
In Ansible, it's called all the plays, right?
Yes, exactly.
Play.
You list all the plays for all your hosts, all your VMs.
Yes, because it's a cycle for the host that you want. For example, for this for the environment, we have to build two clusters, one for the test activities and one for the production activities, and running the playbook every time when you want, using the dependencies of the Ansible and what Ansible how Ansible work, updating what is the inventory of the various environment, the playbook change the behavior. So may go to update Kubernetes or update the nodes, or simply update what are the components of the infrastructure of the servers and the underlying Kubernetes engine.
Right. Let me go for David for this question. It's David, where is the infrastructure as a code in this? I never understood.
So basically, we version the playbook. The playbook is like a script. So you define the task that the playbook should do in a declarative way. So it's very easy and human readable. So it's easy to work with playbook and Ansible. And because it is versioning, you can go with Git and CI/CD to create a pipeline to push the script that you write for create the infrastructure. So it's like a code because it is on Git. It is versioning and it can use the CI/CD pipelines.
So this is the part where it's really have been called infrastructure as a code, because there was scripting involved and to do some tasks based on some conditions. So I can really find an if statement, for example.
Yes.
You can find directly, and if this is not updated, for example, do that condition.
Yes, you can change the version of the package, and so rerun the playbook, and the infrastructure is updated.
Okay.
These are the pillars. Sorry, the automation mentioned by Simone, the CI/CD, the versioning, everything as a code, everything versioned, and the what's more, the everything is the declarative way to do something. They are the pillar of the just mentioned DevOps and so on.
And David, Ansible is like the top layer of Kubernetes and OpenShift. Am I right? It's like the automation tool to orchestrate the other tools, or how does it really work?
Yes, it's for orchestrate other tools and systems. So you can use it for Kubernetes, OpenShift, but also for the servers, Linux, Red Hat, or the others. It can do everything.
Okay. So your only platform that you work on is Ansible. This is the main platform you work on.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Back to Simone, because there is something you wanted us to cover, which is there was a touch of an AI that you added and you were very proud of. Can you tell us more about this?
It's not like an EA, but I also, because I don't trust on it, but what I do is simply wrote all the playbook so I can, when the client wants to update or add a node or maybe change the environment, using the infrastructure as code as methodology, all the playbook change the behavior and adapt. So they can change the environment, change at the very kernel, at the kernel, at the very core. Also, we made it for change the container runtime of the servers that are running Kubernetes. And
automatically, or how does it happen?
Programmatically. Yes. You must specify what container runtime you want, and the playbook take the part. So and for the
like this, you also script it. It's really cool.
Yes. It's on playbook. Yes, it's like choosing a car. You choose the optional, and when you click buy a new Kubernetes cluster like you want, it's deployed.
Okay, so you finished the part as in this. You guys created the environment, the infrastructure, and now it goes back to the CI/CD to create the pipeline of every application that the client owns. Am I right? It works like this.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, let's go to Luigi again, just to end up there. The documentation, Luigi. I know the deadline for the project didn't come yet, and we already finished. But can I understand how is the documentation now? The learning, the teaching, the workshop, all of the educational part, how it's going?
Okay, so the project is not ready for production, or to be more precise, is it will release on the next week, and the documentation provided is an high-level documentation that explain what we have what we have done, which is the component used, how to manage that, and so on. And the same for the CI/CD automation that I think that I missed to explain before, that this CI/CD manage all the application that this customer needs to deploy on this new infrastructure. For the moment, it's only 2 applications, but what we have to do is ready for usage on also other application without any problem. And the next step about the documentation was to create a more fine detailed document. By the way, the documentation that we will provide, it's not really necessary, because the approach that we use, and also on the CI/CD, but also on the infrastructure that Simone and Davide explained before, is the real GitOps approach. So when someone say that GitOps approach is what Simone and Davide really implement and use on this project, and I think this is a big success story, because it's what Sorint have done is really what everyone needs to do on how to work and how to manage infrastructure, but also the software delivery life cycle.
So we finished early, and we are gonna hit the deadline.
Sure, we finished early because we are ready 1 week before the date.
You are working closely with the client team, and now they understand the value behind what you guys did, right?
I think yes. Yeah, I think yes, because this customer on the start of the project was very angry, because other Sorint competitor tried to implement what we have to, and failed. So when we started this project, they are very angry, and now the customer is more happy.
Because
he see that what we do work good. So and it's compliance with their policy and so on.
Compliance, it's very important. Again, just to because it's very complex to realize what they did, but also these are the other pillar, because it's very frequent to see our services ending with the training, with the knowledge transfer to the customer, because we want to do knowledge transfer to the customer and trainings and so on, because they need to appreciate the value of the solution, but also because another pillar of the DevOps is the people. So it's very important to have people trained and skilled on what they are doing, because it's complex. So they need to be trained and to have all the tool chain necessary for the software. So we choose
mindset shift.
Again, also they need to be able to make some changes and adaptation to the in future for the tool chain. This is part of the pillar of the DevOps. You cannot do DevOps without knowing exactly how to automate the infrastructure.
Why, how, what's the value, what you can do, the abilities it can do to you, how it will change the traditional way of how you were releasing and deploying applications or software. It's a big story that needs someone who can transfer knowledge before working, or technical skills you need to understand.
A lot of experience.
And experience.
Mentioned again by Luigi, very easy because we did it very often, but is the compliance of the customer. So DevOps means something, or seems to be something to put together the Dev and the Ops in a very simple way, but it's very complicated because there is the segregation of duty, a lot of regulation about how to put something in production. That is regulation that needs to not to obstacle the IT, but is regulation needed to assure the end customer that everything is going well, is going in the right track. So this is very important to maintain the segregation of duty and so on.
Thank you, Luigi, so much for joining us in the last minute. Luigi joined us in the last minute really today. Thank you, David. Thank you, Simone, and good luck with all the future projects. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you, Mohab, and see you next time. Ciao. Bye bye to everyone. Ciao. Ciao a tutti.